Tetley extra strong.
Come on, it's progress, lads. We have a bit of catching up to do.
Uh-oh.
Sydney? And you must be...
Gasping, son.
Well, come with me.
And so I did. Oh, we had a lovely cuppa. And by heck, did it take me back. And how things have changed.
Tetley has been around since 1837, when brothers Joseph and Edward Tetley from Huddersfield plied the Yorkshire moors flogging tea and salt. However, it was the grandly named Tetley Ironside Tetley Jones, a great-great-nephew of Joseph, who started the Tetley we know today. He discovered the tea bag in America and brought the idea home in the 1930s, though it wasn't until 1953 that Tetley introduced it to the great British public. And it is that little bag that makes Eaglescliffe what it is today. The way tea has been blended and tasted hasn't really changed much over the last century. However, what goes into the blends has seen somewhat of a revolution. No longer does tea come in any flavour you like, so long as it's normal. Today's tea tasters have to have a much more rigorous palate.
When I first started tasting tea and working here, there was only one blend of tea, just the normal sort of Tetley Blue. When over the years we've developed new flavours and new blends, so now we have a whole range of different tastes to learn and to taste. We have sort of black tea with flavours, green tea with flavours, herbal tea, red bush, which is becoming very popular. Since the introduction of all the flavoured teas and herbal teas, it has become more challenging. With black tea, you've got to concentrate on the colour and the sparkle and the taste of the tea. With flavoured teas, you're looking more and more at the taste of the tea, making sure that that's right. Because obviously what we taste here is then going to be packed and end up on the customer's shelves, and the customers are going to buy them.
Tea is placed in an infuser, which must be loosely tied to allow for expansion of the leaves. These tea leaves are then left long enough for infusion to take place, when they must be removed from the urn.
All a bit of a palaver, really. It isn't surprising that something slightly easier was going to be popular. The tea bag grew and grew in popularity, and in 1969 Tetley built the Eaglescliffe factory on its current site, but somewhat smaller. In the year that Concorde took to the air and man walked on the moon, Eaglescliffe had landed on Teesside.
Well, I joined in '74, and the factory then was running machines that made 360 tea bags per minute, and it just expanded into this brick building here, which is 118,000 square feet, and was running 24/7 to be able to meet the demand at the time. Then we introduced the round bag. We're continually evolving and changing, introduced the round tea bag, which required further expansion and opening new areas of production. Then in 1998, with the introduction of the soft pack, we opened the new factory, which is this building here, which is another 100,000 square feet to house the machinery for the soft packs. That gives us 262 million tea bags a week, which is around about 700 tea bags per second for every second the factory is open.
That's a lot of tea bags. With the new millennium came a brand new owner. The giant Indian Tata Company agreed to buy Tetley for £271 million in February 2000. It was the biggest acquisition in Indian corporate history and ended 160 years of British ownership. This is how the BBC Local News reported the impending takeover.
In recent years, the tea industry has lost something of its romance. Loose tea in wooden chests has been replaced by foil-lined sacks. Only a handful of expats work on tea plantations, and just last year the 300-year-old London tea auction finally closed. But the gaffer may be about to get a new gaffer himself. Tetley is on the verge of being taken over, or taken over as he might say. And the bidder, with some irony, given the source of much of Tetley's tea, is an Indian tea company.
The Tata takeover was about to launch a revolution. Up till now, Tetley had simply made tea bags make tea. But that market was shrinking fast and Tata had fresh ideas. By 2003, specialty teas arrived, Redbush in 2007 and so on. For the workforce, advances in mechanisation and working practices were at times uncomfortable. However, Tetley had always evolved and would continue to do so. The round tea bag and 2,000 perforations, for example. Eaglescliffe and its sister warehouse facility Aycliffe may have evolved and changed as Tetley has done, but both have always had a strong sense of community. Workers Amanda and Craig did what many have done and ended up getting married. On their big day in 1984, there were even tea chests lining the route into the church. Quite often, several generations of families end up working for Tetley.
But the one good strength about this factory is, although it's continually changing on the technical front, on the personal front, the spirit and the nature of the factories remain the same. People are on first name terms, they work together, they want to help each other get the job done.
The future holds many challenges, both for Eaglescliffe and Aycliffe, as Tetley settles into the role as a brand within the Tata Global Beverages family. But there are huge opportunities too.
We have say new varieties, which makes this job very interesting because there's always something new coming along, new tastes to learn. And looking to the future, taste buds are going to be challenged a lot more with the new blends coming through, which all makes it an interesting challenge.
The core of our business still is tea and coffee and will remain so for the foreseeable future. But as we go forward, we will move away from tea and coffee. Tea particularly will play an ever smaller part in the total portfolio that we have. Our core stated aim is to move into functional beverages, beverages which are good for the consumer. Another exciting thing we've done for the whole organisation has been Think Big, where over 1,000 ideas were put forward for new products and new ways of doing things in the organisation, many of which we'll aim to put into practice over the coming years. Great initiative and a great and impressive response from everybody in the organisation.
So, you see, we still have our 2,000 perforations, but blow me, we put all sorts of fancy tea in them now. We're right proud of our heritage, and as for the future, it's certainly my cup of tea, or coffee, or who knows?
Since you started watching this 9-minute film, another 378,000 tea bags have been produced at Eaglescliffe, to be sent around the world from Aycliffe.